All right, guys. Well, here we are. I've been having a really hard time lately, and I apologize for the radio silence. I did relapse. I did try to commit suicide. I did not get COVID. Karina and I are split up. Um, my dad said she might have a month now to live, trying to get her emergency care. This guy Lucas ended up burning me for, it's just a long fucked up situation. Lucas ended up burning me. I'm going to explain it all. I came on here today. I just saw like this barrage of fucking hatred for me, and whatever. I have an obligation to you guys. So, it's mid-month. I'm going to try to explain everything right now and tell you what's going on. And then I'm going to try to just finish the month off because I need this. I got another kid coming. We got to just keep the show on, we got to keep the show going, and I'm detoxing right now. I'm at my friend's house and I'm just trying to get right. Karina wants to get back together. I want to get back together with her. Let me just tell you what happened. I've been sober since October, at least off heroin. And anything else, it's just been, I mean, kratom, shit like that. I got back on Suboxone recently. I hired this guy, Lucas Seller, because he had edited an award-winning documentary called Shirkers. It won Best Sundance. And basically, when I came on as the director, made this big mess out of the whole thing because I didn't know what I was doing. So it was obvious that I was gonna have to hire a real director, somebody that really knew what they were doing. So it took me a long time to like convince him to do it. I was having problems with other people that I was working with. I'm not the easiest person to work with. I can definitely admit that. And finally, he agreed to do it. Now, at first, he said that he would direct the film since we had a good portion of it, since we had all the archival footage and since there was so much cinema verite and since it was pretty easy to do. He said he would do the whole thing for $12,000. He had a friend named Oscar. Oscar put up $10,000 for it. So we had an additional, so I'd owe him like an additional $2,000. Oscar gives me the $10,000, gave me a check for it. Put the money into my bank account, or into a bank account, not my bank account. This is all under Tremendous Films, LLC. Whole thing's fucking audited. It's like, there's like weird people trying to say that like I'm on some like con artist shit. I'm not. We posted the fucking cut and then Lucas took it down. But like, let me get to it. I gave Lucas $6,000 up front. And that was part of the deal. I said, look, I'll give you $6,000 up front. When you complete it, I'll give you the other $6,000. He agreed to that. So he also said that it was going to take 6 weeks. This was back in March. He kept pushing it, and look, you can't rush something like that. Like good art, you can't rush. It's going to take as long as it's going to take, but we started getting closer and closer. He needed the rest of the money. It's another $6,000. And then we're going to do a contract for another $12,000 past that. So if you're following me, the first contract was for $12,000, gave him $6,000 up front. As soon as we're done with that contract, then there was going to be like about probably 5, 6, 7 more weeks. The goal was to be done by my birthday, August 3rd. And Lucas really knows what he's doing. He was doing a great job with it. I liked Lucas. Lucas was my friend. I hung out with him. We didn't know each other that well. But anyway, I gave him that $6,000 up front. He started working on it. And it became clear that we needed to interview me again. We needed to interview Seth Ferrante. We needed to interview Johnny Depp. We needed to interview Jim Oles. We needed to interview just a handful of people that we had missed on the first batch. So we got all this stuff lined up to do these interviews. The first thing we were going to do was go on this trip to the Midwest and go interview Seth Ferrante and get some of my master interview stuff done. We go on this trip, and Seth Ferrante had gotten us not a 5-star, but like a very nice resort that was on the Mississippi River at a casino. I paid for the airfare. I paid for all of his meals. I plan on showing him a really good time. I'm like, hey, we'll gamble, we'll have a good time. Part of the purpose of the trip was getting to know Lucas better. When I pick him up at the airport, or when I pick him up at his place to go to the airport, he had cocaine. He had a couple grams of coke. And he said, hey, do you want a party? I hadn't been doing cocaine, around it a lot. I try as hard as I can to stay away from it. I haven't been perfect with coke, and I've had my own coke issues over the last year or so, but I had been doing really good of recent. I mean, you could see when I was posting videos, my skin was clear, there was life in my eye again. I was doing really well. My relationship with Karina was going really good, and I was trying as hard as I could to stay sober because I had another kid coming. I did the cocaine with Lucas. We started doing blow at his place. We missed our first flight. I lost the money on that. I forget what it was. It wasn't very expensive though. It was maybe $200 a ticket. We had only gotten one-way tickets, right? I had to buy 2 more tickets to go to the Midwest because we're all coked out and we fucking missed the flight. It's the first day. Tickets were $365 a ticket or something for one way out to St. Louis. We're hitting weed on the airplane, right? With a little vape pen, just acting like idiots, doing cocaine, whatever. That's how we started the trip. We get to St. Louis at midnight. Seth sees us. Seth doesn't fuck around like that, Seth's a really positive influence in my life, and I think just from the gate, he knew that we were all twacked out on coke. Our first night there, we end up, going out to the casino. Go out to the casino, playing blackjack. I end up winning $1,000 or something. I never win when I play blackjack, but I won. Lucas, I have not had a drink in a very long time. Even when I go to social parties and shit, I just drink Coke with ice. I don't drink alcohol. But I relapsed on alcohol right when I got out there. I don't know if I was trying to put on, if I was trying to live up to an image because, Lucas was making this documentary about me and I wanted to be the crazy druggy drinker. Whatever the fuck I was doing, I was being an idiot, and I started drinking right from the get-go. Started drinking out there in St. Louis. That first night, I'm drinking, hanging out with group people, and somebody gives me crystal meth. I'm already drunk. When I'm drunk, I'll do anything. Then I stuck shampoo bottles, and no, I'll keep this serious because it is. It's a real fucked up situation. I did meth that first night, right? I started going through. I don't want to put my girl's phone, my girl's business out there. But I start being a creep to her on meth from across the country. Right? I'm all methed out, doing blow, drinking. I probably had 10 drinks that night. With meth, you can just keep drinking and drinking and drinking. We're partying with some straight up swampy, trashy fucks, right? And I end up getting in this big fight with Karina. Big time. And she did some fucked up shit to me, right? And being on meth, I've become a fucking little freelance investigative and journalist, right? And so I start cracking cases, solve missing persons cases and shit. I'm I knew you were there, bitch. Sorry, I gotta throw in a joke once in a while. Jeez, it can't be too fucking serious. I found out some shit about Karina where she basically betrayed me, right? It was a long time ago. This isn't recent or anything. This is years ago. I start tripping on her. And I'm really hurt. You know, I'm fucking hurt. Now, on top of that, because I had these photo shoots coming, I'm on HGH, I'm on test, I'm doing a steroid cycle. I don't know why. I'm gonna start professional wrestling too, or, you know what I mean? But I'm on steroids on top of all this shit, right? Not to mention the fact that I have mental health issues. Now, the reason I was on steroids is because I was trying to get in shape because I got fat as fuck. I was trying to be in good shape for the photo shoots and the filming that's coming up. I'm doing something for a magazine, big magazine coming up. Of course, I was going to do shirtless. Do you know who I am, bitch? I'm going to get all narcissistic. So I was doing steroids. I get in this huge fight with Karina. I find out that she had betrayed me. Like, in a bad way. Not cheating, but like on the same level as that, you know? And I found out she had stolen from me, and all this shit had happened, right? Doesn't matter, dude. I love Karina. She's my best friend. You know, she's my lover. She's my baby mama, and we're working it out right now. You know, we're separated right at the second, but we both want to make it work. Because I found that out, the next day I go to do, and I met up with Danny. Thank God I met up with Danny on the sponsor tier, which I'd promised months ago that eventually I'd come out and meet him, because he had won a raffle where he'd get to meet me. I had a great time. I fucking love the guy. For real, love Danny. He's a good dude. He was sober the whole time. If he was not there, it would have been a worse situation. The second day, we're supposed to work all day. I'd been up all night on crystal meth. I just found this shit out about Karina. I'm tripping out. I'm drunk. I make a little fucking nest in the bathroom in this resort, and I just pass out while they're filming. So Lucas gets his work done. I don't know how the hell he was able to function like that. He was like on some straight up rock star shit. He gets the work done. Okay. After that, we end up going to Iowa. Okay, we go to Iowa. Now I'm hanging out with a bunch of my homeboys from prison. Crystal meth again. You know, while I'm out there, I don't even remember. It's such a blur, but at some point, I shot fentanyl. I shot up some fentanyl. I relapsed on heroin. Even though I was on Suboxone, I relapsed on fentanyl. I'm hanging out with all my homeboys from prison. We started doing a bunch of fucking, heroin or fentanyl, I guess. There's not even heroin anymore. I'm smoking crack. I'm doing crystal meth. I don't know how the fuck I got this out of control. I probably, if I had to guess, it's because I was drinking. And like when I'm drinking, I had just been hurt so bad by Karina, and I was like in so much pain for my mom. I'm not saying any of this shit is acceptable. It's not. I have kids. That's a priority. I fucked up. I own up to that 100%. I fucked up. But it gets worse. And it gets way worse. So, and like we're hanging out with like some hardcore motherfuckers. Everybody's so happy to see me, so everybody's just giving me free drugs and like partying with me, and like nobody realizes that it's fucking me up. I don't think anybody had bad intentions, right? With what they were doing. I mean, you shouldn't give a recovering drug addict fucking drugs or whatever. I don't know. All these people are talking shit on Instagram. I got to get off social media, just focus on Patreon again. But I did all these drugs, and then after that, we go to Ryan Romner races in Wisconsin. Go hang out at the Dells. Now again, I'm binging out on meth. Now I'm doing GHB. We do some DMT while we're out there. Things are just getting crazy, right? I'm gambling, I'm making money the whole time. And the whole deal was that when we got out there, Lucas was supposed to give me the cut, and then I give him the other $6,000, and then we give him the other contract for the $12,000 for him to finish. I already raised this money. Yes, everyone says I scam people. It's not true. We have the cut. The films are line audited. I didn't pocket any money. I'm making good money from other stuff right now. You know, I make decent money. I didn't steal from anyone. Someone said that this Rolex I bought with investor money. Yeah, that's what I did. People gave me money to make a documentary, and I bought a fucking Rolex. It doesn't quite work like that, you know. You're held accountable for every cent that you bring in for a film. It's under an LLC. It has nothing to do with me. Anyway, Ram Naresh doesn't. He's a sober dude. He's not with me being on drugs. He doesn't realize that I'm fucked up. I go and I stay with him that night. Thank God. Like, I just had to chill out a little bit, you know. And he talks to me, and he gives me a very loving, brotherly, you know, he cares about me. Hey man, you're blowing it, you're slipping. You know, Seth had called him and said, hey, I'm really worried about Ryan. You know, he cares about me. Those guys are my real friends. You know, they would never give me drugs. They wouldn't bring me down. So Ryan has that conversation with me, and I end up staying at his house. Now, he doesn't realize that I'm binging out on meth the whole time, right? And you know, I'm trying really hard to kind of act like I'm not as fucked up as I am. Now, back to the thing, when Lucas gave me the cut, I was supposed to give him the other $6,000. Now, I had 3,000 of it accessible to me, like in my Cash App. There was actual like documentary film money or whatever. That came from Wacky. He had Cash Apped that to me. I left it in there. I used some of that money to buy plane tickets. I used some of that money you know, for equipment that we needed out there, to check bags in, to check the equipment for the stuff in, all that stuff. And I had 3,000 left over. So I told Lucas, I said, look, I'm going to give you this 3 G's. So that would bring it up to 9. Now I'd paid him 9,000. And I said, I will give you the other 3,000. I'm going to get it from an investor. Let me get the cut up. Let me show it to people. Let me get it up on Patreon. I knew people were waiting. Now, I was like, all right, I'll put the first act on the $3 tier, the second act on the $10 tier, and I'll put the complete thing on the $20 tier. And I thought that everybody would be happy that way. So I do that, and I pay him the $3,000. Again, I'm paying for all of his stuff out there, all of his food, all of his drinks, all of everything. The next day, now I've been up for 4 fucking days. Not only up on crystal meth, drinking, I'm on steroids, like I already have mental health problems. Just imagine the state that I was in at this point. Multiple times at that point, Lucas had asked me, or I had asked Lucas, I said, hey man, let's figure out the second contract and I'll clear you up on this last $3,000 that I owe you. So $3,000, yeah, $3,000. I'd given him 9,000 at this point. And he kept going, no, man, we're partying. Like, let's just figure it out later. All right, cool. No problem. Keeps going. Now, the last day, we're meeting out. By this point, Lucas and I are all fucked up on heroin out there, or fentanyl, whatever it is. We're doing opiates, right? I'm shooting them. Danny, thank God, was the fucking sober voice of reason, trying to get me to stop doing all this shit. I felt horrible. You know, this was like his first impression of me, and I was like on like one of the sickest little runs that I'd been on like in years. And this other dude that I'm doing the movie with was holding the rest of the money. So, you know, I sent him the cut. I sent him the cut that I sent the $20 tier, the one that had the private password. Lucas and I are driving. He's in the front seat. Danny's driving. I'm in the back seat. Lucas is like, hey, what's up with that 3 Gs? And I was like, yeah, let me check with the dude that's going to be sending it to you right now. Hit him up. And right as I'm talking to this other guy about the money, the guy's telling me that he hadn't put the cut up, or that Lucas had taken the cut down. A text message comes in from my dad, and it says, hey, Mom might only have a month, and I just want you to be mentally prepared for that. And I was like, it like hit me like a fucking freight. This has been ongoing. She has Lewy body dementia, but she also has some really bad neurological issues on top of that. They don't know why it's progressing as quickly as it is. I literally just found out she's like gonna die. You know, and this has been an ongoing source of stress for me over the last few months. And then Karina was texting me saying that she doesn't want to be with me. Like, it's over. Like, I'm psycho because I'm being so psychotic out there. So both of these things, lost my girl, and I find out that my mom, it looks like she doesn't have very much longer to live. Some fucking piece of shit was saying I was making that shit up about my mom. It's like, come on, man. People are just like, you gotta really hate yourself to say stuff like that. It's like, I would never say anything like that. I don't hate myself, you know? Even though I'm fucked up right now and I've done a lot of damage, I still would never say that about somebody else's mom. I'm going at it with this dude Ian. His dad's dying. I would never rub that in his face. Even though Ian's a piece of shit, I would never use his father's health issues against him. So, right at that moment, I find out my mom doesn't have very long to live. I find out my girl just, wants to end it. And then I find out from the guy, my partner in this, who's going to send the rest of the money to Lucas. He tells me that Lucas took down the link for the doc cut, the hour and 45 minute. By the way, I have never seen it. I have never seen this cut. You guys have seen, I haven't even seen it. So I hit up, this guy tells me that the cut got taken down. And I'm like, hey, Lucas, why is the link not working? He's like, oh, hey, man, I'm just trying to incentivize you to give me that other $3,000. And I'm like, why the fuck would you do that? What the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you do that behind my back? Dude, I've told you multiple times, let's sit down and figure it out so that I can clear you up on this one. You can sign the other contract. And you go and you do some bitch shit where you fucking take the link down without me even knowing after I sent it out. All these investors, people on Patreon now haven't gotten a chance to see it. Not everybody. And I overreacted. I just found out all that bad shit at once about my mom, about Karina, and now this other dude is telling me that that the link got taken down, and Lucas is basically like on some like grimy shit, telling me that he did that behind my back because he was trying to incentivize me to pay him, even though it was never an issue. He had always gotten paid on time, everything. I just wanted to make sure that everything was straight with my partner in this before we move forward on the other contract. And I freak out. And I'm telling Lucas I'm going to fuck him up. I'm going to fuck you up. What's up? Get out of the car. I'm getting crazy with them. Very inappropriate. Lucas definitely didn't deserve that. That was just a result of like my emotional state. Me being on a bunch of drugs, lack of sleep, steroids, everything. All this bad news. And Danny was like, hey, like he calmed me down. Eventually we pull over. I'm telling Lucas to get out of the car. I'm going to beat him up, all this shit. I calm down. I come back down to earth. I realize that I lost my cool. I apologize. Up and down. I'm so sorry, man. I can't believe I lost my cool. Let me get you this money right now, right? Call one of the investors of the film. I say, hey, can you send this money? Because my partner is not going to send $3,000 until he sees the cut, because we've been burned by other editors, by Stephen Gabriel, by these other people. So I call one of my other investors and ask if she can do it. She sends me $1,000. So now he has $10,000 out of the 12 that I owe him. And I say, dude, give me the cut and I'll give you the other 2,000. He says, nope. I can't give you the cut until you give me the other 2,000. So we're kind of at this standstill. We shake hands. It's all good. He's going to stay in Chicago. I decide to fly back to LA. He said, we're cool. We shook hands. He told me that we don't have any problems, that we're going to finish this film. Everything's cool. I get on the plane, all fucked up. I finally get some sleep. I lose all of my luggage on the plane. I land in LA, and what happened after that? Did I have more heroin? Yeah, so I brought some with me on the plane, or fentanyl, or whatever it was. I end up going back to my house. I see Karina and Nico. She's willing to take me back. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't live that double life again. I couldn't bring that shit around my children, man. You know, it's so I told Karina, I told her everything. I said, hey, I relapsed, you know, and with me, you know, I'm sorry that I did that. I really am. But with me, with any addict, it's always good if you can just admit it and hold yourself accountable right away. Like, fuck it. Like, I made a mistake. This is what it is. And she's like, okay. She wasn't mad. She's like, what do you want to do? I was like, I don't know. I'm sorry. Are you mad at me? And she's like, no. Like, I get it. You know, you're going through a lot. I'm really happy that you told me up front, like, what was up, you know? I was like, all right, cool. Call my friend Alex. She's the vice president of the Paul Project. You know, she's the one that had started the first needle exchange program, you know, in Orange County. I'm at her house right now. She's at work. I told her what was up. I was like, hey, you know, I'm fucked up. I need help. She said, do you want to go to rehab? I said, maybe, you know, maybe. Let me see what's up, you know, like, I don't know if I can do that, you know, like, I need Patreon. That's like my monthly income right now. This whole time while I'm out there, we're filming stuff, you know, I'm so fucked up, it's hard for me to do anything, and I apologize for that. Like I said, you know, the month's not over. Give me a chance to catch up now, but let me keep telling you what happened, because I tried to kill myself right shortly after this. So it's my mom's birthday. Oh man, it's hard for me to talk about this part without getting like really emotional. I'm such a little bitch, huh? So the next day is my mom's birthday. I'm supposed to go up to Santa Barbara and see her. I need to get sober. You know, and I don't know what to do. So I wake up the next day. Alex and I had talked, and our plan was to go, she was going to take me to her place, and she was going to let me kick on her couch. Done that before, you know, she's my friend. And I come out, or I'm about to come out here, and I tell Alex, I say, hey, I got to go up to Santa Barbara, you know, to visit my mom. Now, the last place that I had heard from Lucas at this point, by the way, was that he was gonna give me the cut, and he wanted me to give the other $2,000 to his partner Ian, this fat fucking lame that keeps antagonizing me, and I keep telling him not to. I'm like, look, man, I'm going through a lot emotionally. Leave me alone. Like, I never did anything wrong to this dude at all. Just being an asshole for no fucking reason. He's just some piece of shit. And these guys are like, the thing with him and Lucas is like, they're total pussies. They won't say shit to my face, but they'll go around smut me up to people and try and make me look bad. But the thing is they won't say it to my face. I fucking hate people like that. It's like, you know, have integrity. You know, don't fucking talk shit that you can't back up, you know? Goes radio silent with Lucas in the morning. So I don't know what's going on. And I hear that I get a call from someone saying that he quit. He's done with the project. And he's not going to give me my footage back. All right, so I'm dealing with that when I wake up. Karina, I'm telling Karina that we need to go to Santa Barbara. I'm like, look, I'm going to detox, but we got to go to Santa Barbara first. And she's like, no, fuck that. This is how you fall into, you know, being strung out. You said you were going to go kick at Alex's. Go to Alex's and kick, then come back. I was like, I can't miss my mom's birthday. This is probably the last one I'm ever going to have with her. And Karina and I get in this big ass fight. She doesn't want to go. And Karina's like, you don't want your mom to see you strung out. Like, she's gonna know. Like, it's obvious you look all fucked up. You don't look as good as you do when you're not using, you know. And so we end up not going. And I think, I'm like, okay, whatever. My mom calls me and she's crying. She's telling me how disappointed she is that I missed her birthday. And I'm so selfish. I'm such a piece of shit. And so I take it out on Karina. I start yelling at her. I was like, you fucking bitch. Like, I told you. Like, we needed to go up there. Like, this might be the last birthday I ever get to spend with Mom. What the fuck is wrong with you? We get in this blowout fight. Karina's like, look, fuck you. Get out of here. So then Alex ends up taking me, Alex ends up picking me up, taking me to her place, and I trick her and tell her that I'm going to go get gabapentin so that I can kick. I really go score some fentanyl. I fucking try to kill myself. Ironically, I get fucking Narcaned by the person that I'm trying to do the nonprofit with. It's kind of funny if you think about it. But, I came back here, went in her bathroom like a piece of shit, selfish, total disregard for her. And I was like, and this is mental health shit. This is not selfish people. Oh, you're selfish. You have kids. This is unaddressed mental health problems. In my mind, I was like, it is better for my children if I die. I'm sick of hurting everybody. I can't, just looking at all the hatred on Patreon, like, that's how I feel everybody feels. And I know that's not true. I have a lot of people that love me. And I have a good heart. I'm just a drug addict and I have mental health issues. But I just decided to take myself out. I don't know. This is the second time in my life that I've tried to kill myself. The one time was on Christmas when my ex-wife had kicked me out. And yesterday, or this was 3 days ago now, I don't know. I just reached my threshold. I get Narcan. Freaking out, everybody knows. Karina knows. Karina, we're separated, but like I said, we're getting back together. And I've just been trying to heal. Now, the thing with Lucas is, so then I end up calling Ian. This fucking lame. It's his partner. Dude, seemed cool. Like, from the beginning, I thought he was a good dude. I didn't really know what the situation was. But I call him and he's all mad at me. He's like, I don't want to hear your fucking excuses of why you're not going to pay me. Because I think everybody just expects that I'm some junkie that, like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to burn him or something. I said, look, man. Like, I owe you $2,000. Like, I have that in my personal PayPal. I can send that to you right now. I just need you to tell me that you're going to send me the cut. It's like, of course, man. If you send the 2 Gs, yeah, we'll send you the cut right now. We'll send you the hard drive, all that. Cool. I PayPal him 2 Gs. Then they tell me I'm burned. I'm not getting shit. In fact, if I don't pay this other guy, Oscar, the $10,000 back that he invested, that I had used to pay Lucas, the $12,000, that I wasn't ever going to get my footage or my edit again. Which, that's literally extortion. So if you understand, Lucas brought me an investor named Oscar. Oscar put up $10,000. Oscar signed a contract saying he'd put $10,000 into the film. He'd owed 2 points on the back end. Lucas assured him that we were going to finish the project. Oscar and Lucas have known each other for years. And when Lucas quit, then Oscar was like, well, fuck, if you're quitting, I don't know if I want to invest in this anymore. So he's like, Lucas, you're liable for the money. Well, that's not how contracts work. You know, that his contract had nothing to do with if Lucas quit or not. So that's why Lucas tried to strong arm me, because this other guy was like, well, fuck that. Like, if you're quitting the project, you owe me the 10 grand now. So if that makes sense to you, Oscar put up the 10 grand. I used that 10 grand and another 2 Gs to pay Lucas for the directing work. We're just about to pay him another 12 on top of that to finish it off. And once Lucas quit, then this other guy, Oscar, was like, fuck that. If you're quitting, I'm not getting fucked over just because you're quitting on a project you told me you were going to complete. Now you're liable for the 10 Gs. So now Lucas is like, well, I'm not giving you shit until you give me 10 Gs up front for Oscar. After I just paid this dude $12,000 when my mom's fucking dying. After my girl and I just split up. And I tripped the fuck out. And I tried to kill myself like a little pussy. And so, now, right after I got Narcan, I did fentanyl again. And I'm at her place right now. I'm literally locked in here. I can't leave. I'm going to start doing content again for you guys. I don't want anyone to hate me. I wanted to just be honest about what's going on. I had a little evaluation at the psych ward. And this stuff's just all kind of painful to talk about. I know I'm not going into my normal funny details or whatever, but I'm just having a hard time. And I want you to know, I need you guys. I got a second kid coming. I need you. The show must go on. I've never had a week of radio silence. Believe me, if I did that, it was serious. And I appreciate those of you that do have love and support for me. I know I'm just entertainment to a lot of you. And there's almost like this morbid curiosity just because my life is just such fucking in shambles. I didn't scam anybody. I just explained to you what happened. We're basically at the point where we're like, look, man, if you don't give us the footage that you agreed to, the cut that we paid for, we're pressing charges, criminal extortion and grand theft. You can't steal $12,000 from me. He's stealing $12,000 for everybody that invested in the film. And I like Oscar. Oscar's my boy. He's a good dude. He's done 10 years in the feds himself. He wants to come on the show. Alex wants to come on the show. These are all good people. I don't think Lucas is a bad guy necessarily. Ian kind of was kicking me while I was down, while his dad's dying. And I kept expressing my empathy. I was like, hey man, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. He just wants to keep kicking me, telling me what a fraud I am, what a piece of shit, what a loser. It's like, I don't know, man. There's dudes that won't say this shit to my face, and I'll eventually run into you, Ian. I know he's on Patreon. I'll eventually see you, bro. That's not a threat. I'm just saying I'm going to see you eventually. So say that to my face, I appreciate you guys. Karina and I have made up. We love each other very much. I don't blame her for having to kind of set the stakes with me a little bit and kind of tell me, that she can't tolerate that. I don't blame her. There's children involved. That's why I'm at this other person's house right now. I'm not going to bring drugs like that around my kids. And it's painful as fuck to be away from Nico, but I'm trying to do the right thing and I'm trying to get right. And I appreciate those of you that care about me. We're going to be returning to normal programming because this month was so fucked up. I'm going to put the entire documentary on all tiers as soon as Lucas posted. Last I heard, that shit's getting worked out today and I'll have it today. We're going to finish this shit without Lucas being the director. I'm going to ask Bret Easton Ellis to do it. That's one possibility. Also, Roger Avery, he co-wrote Pulp Fiction. I'm going to ask him. There's a number of people that, I'll ask Johnny. We're going to get a big name dude just to finish it off. It's very close. Thank you for everybody that still believes in me. And let's just try to fucking take it on the chin and keep going. Palabra.